sweet and sour. Absolutely. I didn't put makeup on today yet, so ergo, my face is a little messed up. I wasn't going to miss American food, I didn't think, but today I woke up and I was like, there is McDonald's. My students say they have pancakes there. I want pancakes and hash browns. So, 5:36 in the morning, I'm figuring out Food Panda, ordering the hotcakes. McNuggets came free with the hotcakes, along with one hash brown and the milk tea. Also, I have decided after 2.5 days of looking into the English job opportunity, there are a lot of English job opportunities here in Taiwan. Like when I posted on Facebook, I had no trouble getting job offers. However, there is a little bit of a problem with the legality of getting an ACR visa. The reason is, for me, I went to school in Britain at Rodec International. It's an interior design school. They ran for 50 years and were accredited. My course is interior design, and it was just interior design focused, no extra subjects, which is why I chose it. In addition to the fact that I could do it online, and it was a better program than I could get comparatively in the US near where I lived at a college. It's 60 credit hours, the same as an associate's degree in interior design, which runs 60 hours in the US. However, after a bunch of rigmarole with the labor department and the schools and whatever, they will not look at that degree because it doesn't say associates on it. Now, I am currently in school for my business degree. I have 19 credit hours done by the end of the semester, and I will probably have it completed, if not by the end of next year, by, I'm guessing, the spring of the following year. But, because I've only done 3 semesters. So if it's a 60 credit hour course, then if I do another 3 semesters, spring, summer, that's going to be 40, okay, maybe 2 years, give or take. So, I could come back at that point, teach English to my heart's content, because I will have an associate's degree. I also am going on for my bachelor's, not because it will help me with my English job opportunities, but it will, because I just want that BA. But, in the meantime, I cannot get a work permit or a work visa. Now, what you need for the work permit or work visa are your passport cover, your background check. I was able to complete mine online with a national background check for around 20 bucks within like 5 minutes. So I have no criminal history. I don't have a parking ticket because I don't drive. So, that was pretty fast. So I provided that and my passport cover, front page, my diplomas, certifications, my TESOL degree, etc., or TESOL certification, etc. That was all they really needed. Now, if I did get a job here, they would take about 18% tax, but they then give you back all but 5% of that, and they give you health insurance coverage with you paying in only 30%, which is fabulous. So, I mean, it's a really good deal, and most jobs here are paying around the equivalent of $2,000 to $2,500 a month, which is good income for English teaching. So, that's all good, but I found out that's not going to work out for me at this point in time. So my options to stay, if I wanted to be in Taiwan, would be to get a student visa, which the Chinese language courses are very expensive from what I'm looking at. So the only way that you could get a student visa is personal opinion, if you are pretty independently wealthy, and can, afford that kind of cost because it's about anywhere from $250 to $1,000 a month for the English program or the Chinese programs. You have to have 15 credit hours a month in, or no, 15 credit hours a week in Chinese to get the student visa. So that is out. I'm like, I had a little bit of a what do you call it? Mild concern. I was like, Anna, you don't know where you're going to be in 3 months. You think it's Thailand, but you're unsure, and now you know Taiwan definitely will not work for the extended stay. Now, though, I do always have the opportunity of leaving, going somewhere else for a while, and then coming back to Taiwan if I wanted to. And I could afford to get an apartment here, have it just for having to stay in, and then hop back and forth. I don't really want to do that, to be quite honest. My initial impression after a week of being here is it is a beautiful country. I mean, really stunning. I go outside and it's like there's so much green. I have not seen that much green in my life. I mean, even in the streets, they have beautiful bushes and flowers, and the alleys are gorgeous. Our alleys in the US, like brick. But, you know, that is all beautiful. And the people have been so friendly and kind. I mean, excessively so. Now, I will say I've run into a few that are either, it's weird, the age group of like 20 to 25 or above 60 who seem kind of offended there's a Caucasian person walking their streets. I literally am the only Caucasian person walking the streets here in Demonstrate. I think I saw one other person who's Caucasian in the last week. Yeah. For me, that's really not a big deal. Like I was talking with my students, and like, Anna, how does it feel to be like the only Caucasian person in the entire city, basically? And I'm going, I don't really think about it unless I run into like one of the 16 above who's treating me a little strange, or one of the 20 to 25 who's treating me a little strange. And that's only happened like literally 4 times in my time going out, and I've had a lot more positive than negative. And I'm like, I don't really think about it. I think it's partly because I grew up in a multicultural family. So like my one aunt was Hispanic, my other aunt was African American, my cousins were mixed group. I mean, I just didn't really think about skin tone, if that makes sense. Now, I knew when I got older that it was a problem in some of my family, because like my one grandfather wouldn't talk to my parents because they wouldn't disown my uncle and aunt because she was African American. I think they were better off anyway on that front, but that's a whole other story. But the thing is I don't really think about being different. I just think, I'm going out, doing my day, whatever, which I guess might make me a little strange. I don't know, but I just like I am what I am. Now, I will say I'm a lot taller than most people, which is like, that's interesting. And I'm also, my hair is really poofy right now. I've tried to find something to try to hold it down, but one of the ladies at the English school, we were just having a nice little chat after our interview. She said, how are you finding Taiwan? And she said, is it too humid? And I'm like, it's humid where I come from. Mm-hmm. This was a good discussion. So I'm like, it's not really the humidity that bothers me at all. And I don't think it's cold because it's only like 19 Celsius right now. Where I come from, we get to minus 21 Celsius. This is balmy. But I said, my hair is really poofy, and I can't seem to fix that right now. She said, you might want to invest in a straightener, Anna. And I'm like, I don't have time to straighten my hair. I mean, I'm doing good if I remember to comb it every morning. Like today, I need to run my brush. But anyway, but combing it doesn't make it grow unpoofy. So I'm like, I know I look quite different because I'm really tall and my hair is really poofy. But it doesn't really bother me, and I'm like, nobody else seems to mind, really. So that's kind of been my initial feelings with Taiwan. And I love living in a place where it's so much more reasonable. I mean, like, usually at the end of the month, things are very tight for me because of the increase in cost in the States. I mean, like, we saw a price strike of like 50% on groceries alone in the last 6 months where I was living. So, and rent was gone up like 20% if I stayed. And here it's like, I actually am like 10 days from my payday, and I have quite a bit left over. And I'm like, wow, that's nice. Like when I checked the bank today to make sure like ordering breakfast wouldn't throw me over, I'm like, you could order breakfast like maybe, you know, 200 times and you'd be fine. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I don't have to worry about things quite so much. Now, I will say, yesterday, after things did not work out with the Department of Labor and all that jazz, I sat there and was like, you know what? I'm just going to pick up at the end of my stay here in Damshui and I'm going to Thailand. I'm not going to stay another 2 months because it's cheaper to get an apartment in Thailand than in Taiwan. And it's just less rigmarole because I don't have to try to figure out the public transport system, which does have me a little daunted, to be quite honest. However, after sleeping on it and waking up at like 2 to 3:30, depending, I'm really not sure because I kind of was in and out, I sat there and was like, no, you're not doing that, Anna. You're not doing the most practical thing that also you're doing because you're scared of trying to figure out public transport with your 4 suitcases to get you to the next place. I'm like, you're not doing this. You're going to stay for the 3 months like you had planned, and then you're going to Thailand like a sane, confident woman that you are. I was like, that's what I would tell my kids. I mean, at the end of the day, I have to sit there and go, you know, you have to live with your decisions, yes, but at the end of the day, I think the best way to make your decisions is sit there and go, what would you tell my kids? And like, if my boy called me from Taiwan and said, Mom, the English jobs did not work out, I think I'm just going to go to the next place that's cheaper because I'm a little daunted by figuring out public transport to go see all the cool stuff. I'd say, Johnny, Napat, I don't know what their name's going to be, don't figure out public transport. Go have fun. Live your life. Meet amazing people. Do amazing things. Go be free for 2 months. It's going to be okay, I assure you. And when you're done, you can go to Thailand like you planned. So I was like, I woke up in the middle of the night with that crystallizing thought, and I was like, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm like, the first thing on the docket is go figure out the public transport because that really has me daunted right now. I remember the first time I took a public bus was when I was 30 because I lived in a rural area in Tilden, and I remember Bob really had to help me to get over my phobia of the buses because when I was a very small child, my mother had been in a really bad altercation on a public bus where a man had gone ballistic, and she had me in her arms, and she was like, I really was worried we were not going to make it off the bus because he had just gone cuckoo in the bus. We were down in Arkansas. That was a really bad move of my parents, but anyway, they weren't there for long. But, you know, and no offense to Arkansas, there's beautiful places, but Copperhead's humidity and the public transport was not good. But, you know, at the end of the day, I remember sitting there with Bob, and she's like, Gigi, we need to figure out public transport because neither you nor I have the money for a car, and neither you nor I have any really desire to drive a car in the city. So, ergo, we need to figure out the bus. And it's not going to be scary. Many people take the bus. They do perfectly fine. They have no problems. You and I are capable, confident young women. We can do this. I always liked that about Bob. I mean, despite everything that happened, I have to say, the first 21 years, Bob and her pep talks were absolutely amazing. I mean, no offense, she really could give a good pep talk. But, you know, so I got on the bus that day, back in 2019, and it wasn't that scary. It was just like, oh, we go from point A to point B. We get off. We wait for the bus 15 minutes later than it says because they're going to always be late. And then we move on. And it's the same thing here because it's like, I went to go to the Lover's Bridge in Damshui. It is about an hour walk from me. And no offense, but I am not doing an hour walk on this place because the roads are very good and very safe, but very noisy. I'm like, no hour walk. Plus, my legs are still kind of tired from all the trekking at the airport and all that. I mean, I took about an hour walk the other day and I was just wasted afterwards because I had been on the airports. I mean, no offense, they are treacherous for that. when you're carrying two oversized duffels, which was stupid. I will never do that again. But at the end of the day, I'm like, I want to go see Lover's Bridge. Not because it's called Lover's Bridge. I want to go see it because it is the bridge of the iconic scene in I Do Be Loved in House, which is my favorite Taiwanese BL drama series. I'm not sure. No, We Best Love is my favorite. And I also like Plus and Minus. So I have to say We Best Love, then Plus and Minus ties with I Do Be Loved in House. Although I really am enjoying My Tooth Your Love, the new one that came out. It has one more episode, I think. No, 2 more episodes still done. 2 more weeks. I'll finish it while I'm in Taiwan. Yay! But at the end of the day, I was like, I want to see Lover's Bridge. I can get a direct rail from the station here to there, and I can do this, and it only cost me like $4 to get there and back. And I'm like, yeah, you can do this. It's not going to be traumatic. And if push comes to shove and you get off at the wrong place, or you get intimidated by the train, you can get a cab to bring you back for around $5. So, next Wednesday is, I'm finishing up my quota today for my teaching lesson, so I've made all my money for the month. Next Wednesday, I am taking the day off. I am going to the station. I'm going to ride the train to Lover's Bridge. I'm going to get off and walk like 10 minutes to the bridge. I'm also going to check out the cool tea shop that's nearby. And I'm going to the scenic outlook by the ocean. It's like this lovely little beach. So I'm going to see all that next Wednesday. And I'm going to come home. And that will probably take me like maybe 4 hours at the most. I plan on getting lunch out too. Just saying. And we're going to see how it goes. I have a feeling it's going to go swimmingly once I get over the initial moment, which no one can really tell I have unless they really know me. But you know, I think that for me, like, everyone was worried about me going international. Like, Anna, are you sure you've never left the US? Will you be okay? How will you acclimate? And I'm like, honestly, being here, I was just was talking to Justin yesterday, like, is there anything that you are having trouble acclimating to living in Taiwan now? I'm like, no, not really. If anything, it's become a lot easier in many ways. I mean, yeah, we got the public transport problem, but I would have that if I moved to a new town in the US too. So, I mean, that's not something that's based on my being international. And then I'm like, you know, I went up to see Lover's Bridge. I'm going to the snake outlet. I'm going to the tea shop. I'm going to come back to my apartment. And then next weekend, if I feel okay and calm and competent about it, I'm going to Taichung City because there is a concert with Ray at the park at like 3 to 5 p.m. I think. And I'm like, I'd like to go. I think he's only singing like a couple of songs, but I'm going, it's still Ray Huang from YouTube, and he's going to be there in person, and I could hear him sing those songs, which would be kind of cool. Or play those songs. I'd much rather, no offense. He has a very nice voice, but his piano is awesome. So anyway, I'm like, I'm going to go to Taichung City probably next Sunday. And you know, it's going to be okay. Now, if I get done with my Lover's Bridge escapade and find out that I really do not do well on public transport in Taiwan, then I will reevaluate that whole deal and go, you know what, we'll wait for a concert in Taipei in the next 2 months to see Ray. I'm sure there will probably be one. So anyway, I'm not sure. I just know that's kind of where I'm at this morning. Like, I'm really good at when I get nervous or edgy about something of just closing it and going, okay, we're not doing this, we're going to do the safest, most practical thing. And the thing is that's what I've been working really hard about since I reached the age of 30 is doing everything I can to not do this, which for me takes a a great deal of oomph. I don't know if it's that way for everyone. I mean, maybe it is. I think getting outside your comfort zone, no matter regardless of whether you're an introvert, an extrovert, or an omnivert, is just difficult. So I think just take it one step at a time. Enjoy this fabulous breakfast. Finish my lovely in-round documentary for school. Tomorrow I have my finals for school. I put them off to the last day. I don't know why I do that. I always do really well in school. I'm at like 93% grade point average for the entire class. At A, I'm hoping to bump it up to an A plus, but we'll see. But anyway, I'm like, tomorrow I'm taking off to do my college exam, which will probably take me like 2 hours, maybe 3. Then I might teach some more, depends. I might go exploring, because there's a mangrove national park thingy near where I am. It's supposed to only be a 15-minute walk. I still haven't been able to find it. I'm not sure why. It's like, it's right near me. It should be really easy. And I'm sure there's signage, but it's all in Mandarin, so it's like, Now, my apartment here is done on the 5th of January in Demshui. I'm looking at getting another Airbnb closer in Taipei, because we're talking to one of the English girls that interviewed me yesterday, and you're like, Anna, Demshui is nice, but you're far away from all the things that you might want to see while you're here in Taiwan and Taipei. Yeah, you got a point. So I'm probably moving closer into Taipei. I'm also thinking about if the public transport goes well after my trip to the Lovers Bridge and then to Taichung City, probably going to Hualien for a day while I'm here in Tamshui by train, just to spend the day, enjoy it, take in the sights, and then to come back to my apartment. Now, I also have the opportunity, there's a person I met on Facebook who he and his wife have a room that they're renting, and that's very reasonable too. It's only like $244 a month in US dollars. And I asked them if they mind if I teach English because I use my headset, and they're like, no, we don't care. So anyway, and I'm really usually quite quiet in my apartment. I mean, even if I'm playing music, I usually use headphones. So I'm not really sure, but I've decided I'm not worried about any of that till after the 20th. I mean, no offense, it's like, just enjoy your time here, take some time to breathe, order great takeout, go to the Lovers Bridge, take a mountain load of pictures. This is the IGB Hilton's house. This is the teacup. I also want to go to HWC Roasters in Taipei while I'm here. Yeah, but yeah, I want to go there. I'm like, that'd be so cool. And to see the iconic places that we're in we best love. I'm going, I have a list of those that's on there. So when I do move to Taipei, I probably will go see that for a day, like do a little vlog of, this is the university, this is the bridge, this is the, I don't know, place with the hot pot restaurant. I don't know, just, So anyway, and I do want to experience the night markets while I'm here too, but quite frankly, that has not worked out yet because it's been raining most of the days, and I'm like, I'm not going out in the dark and the rain, even in a place I'm very safe. So that's my morning ramble so far. I also took out one batch of trash, left the apartment, bath. I wish there was more little like cupboards in the bathroom. I have a lot of places to put your stuff. But the kitchen has a lot of cupboards and everything. But that is my ramble so far. And I will drop some links in the description below when I release this video, so you guys can see the Lovers Bridge, Taichung City, Hualien, etc. and why I want to go there. Taichung City, it's not really like a tourist destination at all, but it's very good because they have a great concert. I'm just saying, yeah.